on guys, Custom RC Mods here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you everything that's in my DJI Mavic Pro bag. And this is basically just everything that I'd take on a normal day of flying, maybe out to a park or something, or just things that I would have with me when I travel with my DJI Mavic Pro. So first off, I'm going to start off with the propeller guards. If I'm going to be using the propeller guards, or be planning to be using the propeller guards, I'm just going to hook them to the outside through the propeller guard, through the shoulder strap of this bag. But most of the time, I don't use the propeller guards, so I'm going to go ahead and set those aside. So, basically, this is your average DJI Mavic bag. It's a one that's featured in the Fly More combo. I got this one in my Costco bundle that I bought, obviously, from Costco. But opening the flap, first, we have this front pocket, which I found that you can't really fit a bunch of stuff in, so I just put a business card in so that if this is ever found or if I leave it any place, you know who it belongs to, which I'm not going to show because it's a pain to get in and out. And then in this opening pocket right here, once you get in, the first thing I have is some zip ties. And zip ties are a must. Zip ties are probably one of my favorite little items in the world because, you know, they're just so handy. I mean, I've so many zip ties just lying around. There are so many uses, so I like to have a few on hand at all times. And then the next thing I have is my 2 extra propellers that came with the DJI Mavic. And these two are a little chewed up, but I have the original bags that they came in. So these are just so I have some if I nick a tree or something like that. I have some extra propellers. The next thing I have is some registration information in this plastic bag, which I'm not going to show, so I don't give away my personal information. And the final thing I have is my DJI Mavic Pro manuals and this Carefresh pamphlet and these cables for the remote controller. And as you can see, I do not use any of these for my remote controller. I just have them on hand just in case my lightning cable that I use goes kaput. So yeah, that's the front pocket. There's a lot of stuff you can fit in there. You can even fit batteries in there if you have the Fly More combo. Okay, so opening in the main pocket, I have a bunch of things. So the first thing I have my GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. And this one I just keep in here. It's always nice to have a second angle on things, so I just have that with me most of the time, and I like to keep these two together because they both work so well as a pair in videos and things like that. And moving on, we have the power adapter for the charger, and then my micro USB, my lightning cable, rather, for my transmitter, which I'll show you in a separate video coming up, that I use to plug in my phone to the transmitter. And then I have my charger right here, which I have the included micro USB cable and the battery charging cable wrapped up together, just because this micro USB cable is dedicated solely to charging the remote controller. And the next thing I have is, of course, my remote controller and the stick guard, which I'll show you how to make in a separate video. And yeah, it's charged with the same dedicated charger. And I found these two fit next to each other perfectly in it, and so the controller's not bumping around whenever you walk around with it, and you don't have to worry about the controller getting damaged. Okay, so moving on to the drone. So I've got my Mavic Pro right here, and I have somewhere in here the rubber thing that goes over the gimbal dome, but you know, that thing doesn't really stay on anyway. But basically, I have this ribbon, which I've already done a video on, that I keep locked in the battery, that I can easily pull out when I'm ready to fly, just so I don't forget to take off the gimbal clamp. And yeah, so that's everything in the main compartment. Now for the upper compartment right here. And so first thing I have is a lanyard. This lanyard is perfect for my remote, for when I'm doing other things like driving an RC car and using active track, or any other thing that I might be doing that like walking around and waving, doing gestures, things like that. A lanyard is perfect, and I also have a different video linked to how I made this extension for my lanyard. So the next thing I have is a SanDisk micro SD to SD adapter for plugging in a computer, just in case I ever get kind of sidetracked, or if I just want to have it with my drone, so that if I'm going places, I want to be able to plug into a computer and just have this with me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this top pocket. And now for the side pockets, I don't really carry a lot of stuff in the side pockets normally, but since I have a lot of GoPro accessories that I like to use on a regular basis, I decided I'd throw a few in on the side pocket. So the first thing I have is just a standard GoPro mount right here, and then I have a GoPro charging cable, which is going to be coming quite handy because my GoPro is dead currently. I've got an extra battery, and I have the head strap for doing like point of view videos from a pilot standpoint with my Mavic Pro. The last thing I have in here is the bolt for the GoPro as well. So now moving on to the other side, the last item in this kit is my power bank. This is I believe is a 9,000 milliamp hour power bank, and it can charge my phone well over 4 times. I've done at least 5 or 6. I'm taking it on a few days of camping, and it's worked flawlessly. This is a Blackweb one I got at Walmart for like 10 bucks. It's perfect, so I highly recommend you pick up one of these. This is an essential, especially when flying in cold weather, because when you fly in cold weather, your iPad or phone tends to die a lot, and even though they still have like 70% charge, it just crashes with the cold weather and the LiPo battery and everything like that. So it's good to be able to unplug it and plug straight into it and reboot and keep flying. So yeah, this is a must for me to have with my Mavic. So the last thing I have is either a phone or an iPad. I don't mind flying with an iPad. I think it's really nice, except for it just takes away from the tactile kind of feel of the transmitter. It's more of a boxy pentagon instead of a square like I'm used to with an RC transmitter. So I like flying with my phone. It's a lot less hassle. I have to take the case off my iPad a lot. So yeah, so that's everything that's in my DJI Mavic Pro bag. And yeah, so if you found any of these items here interesting, want to know more about any of these, why I carry them, any other questions that you have, please feel free to comment down below. And make sure that you like and subscribe to Custom RC Mods on YouTube for some more videos just like this every day.